Do you ever feel guilty that your kids aren't eating enough nutritious foods? Well, this video might make you feel better. I have a picky toddler, and I've always wondered if she was getting enough vitamins and minerals. So I recently went through the USDA dietary guidelines for Americans, which lists the 19 essential vitamins and minerals and their recommended daily intakes for different age groups. And as I was going through this and matching it up with my toddler's diet, there were five foods in particular that surprised me regarding their nutritional value. Let's start with potatoes. Potato chips, french fries, and potatoes are chock full of potassium. Potassium is a nutrient of concern in the United States because many Americans aren't getting enough. One bag of potato chips is equivalent to 1 cup of broccoli or one banana. And while it does have a lot of fat, compared to a Dorito, for example, potato chips have a lot more potassium and a lot more vitamin C. And I was also surprised to realize that both of them have 2 grams of protein and 1 gram of fiber. The next food I want to talk about is cereal and cereal bars in particular. My kids love cereal bars. I'm not talking about protein bars or granola bars, specifically talking about these like fruit and grain bars. I didn't realize that these are actually chock full of nutrients. They're basically like giving your kid a multivitamin, but with sugar. In particular, they have a lot of calcium, iron, and vitamin A. And these are all nutrients which Americans, and in particular sometimes children, aren't getting enough of. For example, my daughter doesn't eat a lot of vegetables, and so the vitamin A in these is helpful. The third food I want to talk about is white bread. Similar to the cereals and cereal bars, these are also enriched with vitamins and minerals, which I didn't realize. And in fact, if you go to, this is like the cheap Walmart brand, and it does have some additional vitamins and nutrients like folate and riboflavin and niacin. However, if you go up in expense to the Sara Lee white bread, which is $1 more per loaf, it's actually fortified with vitamin C, vitamin D, which some Americans also aren't getting enough of, as well as calcium, which those three in particular are ones that can be a little bit harder to get for Americans. The fourth food I want to talk about The fourth food I want to talk about is peanut butter. My daughter loves peanut butter, and I haven't been able to get her to eat nuts. But peanut butter itself, while it does have a lot of fat, it also has a lot of nutrients. It has 60% of her recommended daily intake of magnesium, 54% of her recommended daily intake of protein, a lot of potassium, which again is a nutrient that she needs, as well as iron and fiber. Fifth food I want to talk about is corn, and to a lesser extent, popcorn. I always thought of corn as being kind of a lesser vegetable and that it was more starchy and didn't have a lot of nutrients. Well, it does have more starch, although I read it doesn't spike your blood pressure like other sugars. It does have a lot of really good nutrients. Coming back to the potassium, it has a lot of potassium. It also has a lot of fiber and some protein. And then popcorn, while not as nutritious, it does have 2 grams of fiber and 1 gram of protein. And so if there isn't a lot of oil in it, it's probably not too bad of a snack. The reason I wanted to talk about these things is because I think it's easy as parents to kind of beat ourselves up about what our kids are eating, and it's our lives are busy, and sometimes we just want to take the path of least resistance.